Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Brahma Bulletin. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate you, one and all. And now, this week's story. In a surprising twist, the Brahmas have a new head coach, a new head bull. Steelers great Hines Ward out as XFL coach. Former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Hines Ward will have to find a new team to work for if he wants to continue his coaching career in professional football. In a surprising bit of news from the XFL, the former Steelers standout, who had been one of the 7 new head coaches in the league last year, is out as the head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas and replaced by former Houston Roughnecks head coach Wade Phillips, according to a report from James Larson of USFL Newsroom and Pro Football Network. Ward was selected to be the head coach for one of 8 XFL squads in June of 2021 and was assigned to the San Antonio club in July of the following year. He spent just one season leading the Brahmas, and the team finished with a 3-7 record that left them out of the playoff picture by just one game. Before he was named head coach of San Antonio, Ward had taken positions with the New York Football Jets and Florida Atlantic Owls as an assistant coach. Ward also spent the 2017 season with the Steelers as an offensive intern. More players signed letters of intent to play with the Brahmas. The Brahma herd grows. The following players have signed letters of intent with the San Antonio Brahmas: Keyshawn Barrera, linebacker, Washington; Christopher Dunn, kicker, North Carolina State; Evan Hines, offensive lineman, Minnesota State Mankato; Jameer Jones, defensive lineman, Notre Dame; Corey Maysfield, defensive back, UTSA; Boogie Roberts, defensive lineman, San Jose State; Stevie Scott III, running back, Indiana; Prince Emili, defensive lineman, Penn; Calvin Turner, wide receiver, Hawaii; Bubba Bolden, safety, Miami; Taylor Beach, offensive lineman, Wisconsin; and Bryce Thompson, defensive back, Tennessee. So just a little bit in depth on some of the players. First of all, we have running back Stevie Scott III for Michigan Panthers. Now, Stevie Scott is back in the spring football scene. USFL fans will recognize the name as Scott played with the Michigan Panthers for the last 2 seasons. Across that span, he totaled 605 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns, averaging 3.4 yards per carry. Offensive lineman Evan Hines, New Jersey Generals. Just like Scott, Evan played in the USFL for the last 2 seasons with the New Jersey Generals. Evan started in 5 of 10 games played this year. Hines played in Minnesota State in college, my home state. Next, defensive lineman Jameer Jones, Notre Dame. Jameer Jones brings plenty of NFL experience to the table for the Brahmas. He has played in 13 NFL games with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Los Angeles Rams, totaling 20 tackles. Jones went to Notre Dame in college, racking up 50 tackles and 4.5 sacks there as a solid rotational piece. Next player is kicker Christopher Dunn, North Carolina State. He began his career at 88% through his first 2 seasons, but then struggled over the next 2 at 69%. In 2021, he was 13 of 19 on field goals for the year. Then, in 2022, Dunn turned things around. He made 28 of his 29 field goal attempts, including 2 for 2 from 50-plus yards out, with a long of 53. A Brahma gets another shot in the NFL. Brahma in the NFL. Injuries across the league increases playing time for many former XFL players in the NFL Week 15. Brought in for a workout by the Houston Texans was quarterback Jack Coan from the Brahmas. It was the first in-season workout Coan has received, his 4th overall, dating back to May. A Brahma decides to leave our ranch. A Brahma leaves. Kicker John Parker Romo decides not to return to San Antonio. In a tweet, kicker John Parker Romo announced that he would not return to the San Antonio Brahmas for the 2024 season. He states that he is continuing his pursuit of an NFL roster spot. Quote, there are multiple paths to take having this goal in mind, and I am excited for any opportunity that comes my way. I will miss my Brahma family and the best fans in the XFL. I look forward to making a trip down to San Antonio. I am grateful for the support everyone continues to give me. I am without a doubt blessed. Unquote. Romo spent time in the Detroit Lions camp, appearing in one preseason game, going 2 for 2 in field goal attempts. He was subsequently released, but picked up by the Bears and was assigned to their practice squad. Romo had an outstanding 2023 season with the Brahmas, going 17 for 19 in field goal attempts, including a 57-yard field goal at Lumen Field in Seattle, a record for any league at that stadium. We may have some clarity on the USFL side on this merger. XFL USFL merger news. USFL PA informs players that 4 USFL teams survived in merger. The USFL PA broke some important news regarding the USFL XFL merger structure. The reported 4 teams to remain are Birmingham Stallions, Houston Gamblers, Memphis Showboats, Michigan Panthers. The USFL will be losing 4 of its franchises: the New Orleans Breakers, New Jersey Generals, Philadelphia Stars, and Pittsburgh Maulers. The USFL side of the XFL merger comes to light. With the USFL-PA, that's the United States Football League Player Association, spilling the beans and messages to its members, details on the USFL side of the XFL-USFL merger are now known. There will be 3 phase allocation process going into camp next season. There is no mention as to which XFL teams will play in the 2024, and the XFL has not confirmed any decisions on this matter. In Phase 1 of play allocation, each surviving USFL team shall designate which USFL contract players assigned to that team would be designated as protected. The team would be able to protect up to 42 USFL contract players who were assigned to the team making the selection. In Phase 2, each surviving team shall have the right to claim an additional protected players up to 20 USFL contract players which were assigned to a non-surviving USFL team. In Phase 3, there will be a dispersal draft where all USFL players on a roster of a USFL team during the 2023 season who were not protected during Phases 1 or 2 would be eligible to participate. This draft would be conducted by all teams participating in the 2024 season, including USFL surviving teams and the surviving teams of any other professional football league, for example, the XFL, that will participate in the 2024 season. Non-contracted players who previously played in the USFL and any other professional football league, XFL, whose teams will participate in the 2024 season may be signed by the league prior to the dispersal draft for the purpose of participating in the draft. That is quite a lot. Another hired gun has joined the posse. Signed wide receiver / running back Day G. Johnson. And now, our Brahma in the spotlight. Micah Smith, defensive back, incarnate word. Micah Smith enters transfers portal, won't return to Arkansas. Smith played in 11 of 12 games in 2019, but has only suited up once during his senior season, primarily due to injuries. Analyzing the San Antonio Brahmas letters of intent signing. Micah Smith had a lengthy college career, spanning from 2016 to 2022. He began at Arkansas, posting 26 tackles across a few seasons. Smith then transferred to Incarnate Word, spending his final 2 years there. Micah made his presence known especially on special teams, blocking a punt while registering 14 tackles in 2022. UIW 2002 football roster. So now we're going to go from recent to older timeline here. In 2019, he was a redshirted junior. He played in 11 of 12 games for the Razorbacks. He recorded 22 tackles, 13 solo with 2 pass breakups, a quarterback hurry, and a fumble recovery. In 2018, as a redshirted sophomore, he played in 4 games for the Razorbacks in 2018. In 2017, as a redshirted freshman, he played in 10 games, mostly on special teams. He recorded 3 tackles and forced a fumble on kickoff coverage. In 2016, as a freshman, he was redshirted as a true freshman. In high school, he was a 3-star recruit by 24/7 Sports and Scout, tabbed the number 153rd safety in the class and the number 288 player in the state of Texas. He had a breakout senior campaign tallying a team-leading 123 tackles, including 3 for a loss, 3 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and 7 pass breakups. And that was our Brahma in the Spotlight, defensive back Micah Smith from the University of Incarnate Word. And that's all for this week. If you found this episode informative and entertaining, would you please let me know by hitting that like button and also consider dropping a comment in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I thank you all so much for that. Well, I think it's time for this Brahma to be put out to pasture. At least until the next episode. Until then, San Antonio, horns forward.